I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. I thanketh thee for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Yes, Wednesday. My dudes and dudettes, it's time to dance. Are you ready? The first track was a track suggested by Joy. I ended up listening to it today in preparation for stream. And it's not exactly my style, but in honoring Joy, I will dance to it. No one got hit by a stray bullet last night. Good. Everybody alive? I'm gonna be looking for names. Stuck dad, seeing you. Shannon and Nana, Joy, of course. Nancy, dance in your pants. I'm gonna be dancing in my pants. I saved a bunch of other tracks as well. Uh, yeah, let's hope it goes well. Let me put this away, and then we can get it started. Let me let me melt completely into this. Let me melt completely into this experience. Bring my mic with me for this one. I'll put it back again. I want to get some distance. Stand directly on the sun's path. Oh, I accept positive energy. I am a present being. I am happy to be, and I shall be happier still. Might be hard for us to be always happy, but it's always possible for us to be happier. All right? If you're sad right now, you're in the perfect position to be happier. Yeah, checkmate. How about that? Okay. Now it's time to move our bodies. It's time to dance. See what that music do. Thank you, Joy, for the suggestion. Thank you, friends, for joining. Let's dance.
I just gotta warm up on my plants and hoping that they'll thrive around the madness. Won't you step inside my lovely cottage? Feels so green, it feels like fucking magic. Only bad bitches in my trellis. And baby, I'm the baddest. Wake me up when this gets to the action. When the place a mess, I get the maddest. I'm so sorry, baby, it's a habit. When you go away, I get the saddest. Lately, I'm hard to manage. Rest with me on Sabbath. You don't need those women, they are average. Fruits and juices, all that you desire. Did you water from the islands? You can be yourself with me. Don't you feel it? Wait on it, the package of your phone. Wait, now the way me away. Yeah, I know when I wake up with her instead. But there ain't no one replacing you. No, there ain't no one replacing you. You're looking for a substitution. Healing my heart's confusion. You're looking for a substitution. But there ain't no one replacing you. You're looking for a substitution. Losing all of my illusion. Looking for a substitution. There ain't no one replacing you. Gotta loosen up my emotions. Just start it up, just shake it, shake it. When I hear your name, I can't be sober. I could use someone to shake it, shake it. I know that I can't get you out of my head, and I know I can numb you away. Yeah, I know when I wake up with her instead. Oh, there ain't no one replacing you. No, there ain't no one. No, there ain't no one. No, there ain't no one. No, there ain't no one replacing you. You're looking for a substitution. Feeling my heart's confusion. You're looking for a substitution. But there ain't no one replacing you. You're looking for a substitution. Losing all of my illusion. Looking for a substitution. There ain't no one replacing you. You're looking for a substitution. Losing all of my illusion. Looking for a substitution. There ain't no one replacing you.
Like how we're taking steps to more and more psychedelicness. Hips and shoulders, hips and shoulders. Pre-coffee dancing. Yeah, get it. Get it with me. This one is a particularly special track. It's called Guitar Mass by Infected Mushroom. One more track, and it'll be the next one. This one's basically over, actually. Yeah, Moxie Floxy. Diving deep into the other music. I feel like I can move slower to these tracks today. I don't have to burn myself out quite as much. Boost the volume a bit. Skip up. Dancing's done. I'm missing context, but I'm seeing love. I'm gonna go get my stuff. I'll be back in multiple moments, randomly spaced. Let's get these things first. So much love. I'm still in recovery mode. My brain, my body, my lungs, everything is on fire in a good way. like alive. That quote, the only way to truly experience what it's like to live is to do so at the end of a spear. It pushing up against your core, you having to fight with everything in your being to not let go of your strength, to not give in, to persevere, power through, see yourself on the other side, become what you've been made to be. Synchronicity. And so we release. Are we happier after today's dancing? Yeah. Yeah. I feel a lot better. I didn't come into the dance feeling bad, but I've been in a wave function all day. It's been pretty trippy. I feel like I was playing life on alien mode, right? Like I was a new spawn or something, and I was getting used to how the world looks again. Man, I haven't started. I feel like I'm so scattered trying to tune into the comments. I feel better after today's dancing. Yes. Banish those demons, Shan. Surely it has to be demons. Trees got cut in Shannon's yard. Technically, without her consent. Even though her consent wasn't necessary, I still feel like that should be the bare minimum, right? If you're going to cut trees and people live around those trees, you should at least tell them that's your intent. But banishing them demons have been banished. I am happy, 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 happy. Thank you, happy water. I'm imagining every single water molecule just stoked, wah, 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 vibrating. Love is true, love is true. Mm. Mm. Yeah, that first sip of water is so nice. Connor, blessings to you. I see Kelly here as well. Jovan joined us. Of course, Lozana, blessings. Nancy as well. The last mushroom, I saw mushrooms. Who said mushroom? There it is, Shan. Ooh, infected mushroom. Yeah, they have some interesting music. It's pretty psychedelic. Let me start. The last message is 4:13 p.m. from Nancy saying, "Joe, yeah, end of day Friday. I like the funk of this track. I'm happy you enjoyed it too. Should we discover too? I have no idea what day it is. I had to consult Kato's day of the week chart. I feel like I'm so lost right now. My mind is pretty scattered right now. Like I'm still stuck in whatever that state of mind is. I wanted to show you a scene, but it passed before I could. Eva was majestically standing, and Kitty was standing directly next to her. Okay. We came into the stream with the intention of it's very hard to make everybody happy, right? As to what that means. To make every single person happy. That's a hard thing to do. But in comparison, it is significantly easier to make everybody happier, right? Even if it's just a little bit, even if it's like a percentage, 1% happier, right? That makes a difference. Might not be possible, with an infinity even, to make every single person on earth 100% happy. I don't know if it is, but we can add them percentages, those small wins. Like I read that word again recently, small wins, and I was thinking about you too, Connor. You were thinking about me, thinking about you. Setting you good vibes, bro. It's an unanimous decision, unanimous decision. Today is now Friday at 6 p.m. You know what? Yeah, I'm happy to accept that. Yeah, how straight up. Now Wednesdays are actually the new Fridays. It's like, what is Friday? Also Friday. You see, it goes Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes. We can just use the same words, recycle them. I mean, we are pushing for the 4 day, work week. Have like a proper 3 day weekend at least. That could that could be like one of those things, right? Where everybody isn't going to be happy that they still have to work 4 days even a week. But I'm sure everybody's going to be happier that they get to have 3 days to themselves and their families. Beauties, grooving along with y'all this beautiful morning. I haven't heard anything by Infected Mushroom in a long time. I'm happy to share that moment with you. Guitar Mass is like creme de la creme, Infected Mushroom. Like, I feel like that's probably the best one for me. I think Pink Flamingos is Christian's. I'm just bringing my mind up. Diggity. Connor, you're doing good, buddy. Why you bring up that travesty of music making duck? Diggy Diggy Hole is gangster. Don't dunk on Diggy Diggy Hole, Joy. Come on, come on. Like, I actually, unironically, am filled with joy listening to that track. Like, it fills me with joy. It makes me so happy, right? And like, that's what music is supposed to do. At least that's what music can do. Not all music makes you that happy. Some music is meant to not, right? But the fact that is able to do that, I feel like it's still of it enough for me. I can accept. Like, yeah, this is this is good music, right? Like, I've heard music that I feel I cannot listen to, right? Like, I'll skip through it and I'll be like, yeah, even skipping through it was painful. That's in my mind, bad music. But Diggy Diggy Hole, I can be like, yeah, this is a vibe. I can listen to it. Maybe it's like my upbringing as well. Like, I did actually start, my music journey with like rock music. Stuff is a little bit more heavy. Has like a certain rhythm to it, and that checks all the boxes. And I feel like they knew what they were doing. It's pretty popular. I feel like in their niche, it's one of the better ones. That filthy, dirty, nasty, sick. Exactly what I would envision Infected Mushroom to be. I'm so happy you liked it. Like, that track is called Guitar Mass, and their thumbnail for the track is this, what looks like a fungal city in the shape of a guitar, right? So my mind, of course, has to go to the entire track that you're listening to as Infected Mushroom's Guitar Mass is some sort of fungus that turned into a guitar and then started communicating with itself or communicating with you. And then what you hear is their music, right? It's, yeah, it's a lot. But I feel like they do that intentionally. Some of their tracks is a little bit too much. Again, like they have some others as well. Sounds like Halloween, encapsulating song. So much lovin's. Taking weeds. Or are you in punishment? I feel like it's probably the part of the landscaping. Yeah, there we go. I'd love to see before and after photos. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if this is appropriate, the right word, if it's gonna fly, but there's like a whole TikTok series of a dude that basically just goes to people's yards and does landscaping pretty much for free. He has like the gear, and then he films that whole experience, and you get to like time lapse watch him clean up a whole space, and it's pretty satisfying. And he's doing really well for himself, pretty much doing work for free. So if you are gonna do landscaping anyway, having like maybe even a stationary camera or something that you move maybe like 3 times, just time lapsing you as you're like cleaning weeds off or whatever. I'm I'm pushing harder than I should. You do what you should do, brother bear. You know what's up. I want to listen to some Nin. I don't think I know Nin, unfortunately. Sadly, fell in the description of landscaping joy. Yeah, it's okay. The first time I heard more than one Nin track in a row was live joy. They got a new fan that day. So nice. All right, Connor. I did 9 hours of picking weeds yesterday, hands in earth of our creation, easing the stress of my customers to the point where they hugged me afterwards. Landscaping is love. Absolutely, dude. Like, that's endurance on a level that I I sometimes wonder if I'm even capable of. So I really admire you, dude. Hardworking. That's fine. That's why I have to like we have to develop the tech, bro. Make sure that you don't strain yourself, and then hopefully eventually, we can have robots that you can basically do the work through, and then by doing the work through it a couple of times, it learns how to do the work the way you do it, and then you just have an army, bro. You can be like command center, chilling in your air conditioned car or truck, maybe even yeah, I think truck is a cool name. Truck, yeah, truck. So manly. You have your control centers, all screens on the inside, and you got your landscaper robos. Pride yourself on doing like 4-minute, 44-second jobs. You have like 15 robots or whatever. Now, 15 robots is going to be a logistical nightmare to travel with. You can do four. Four is good, you know. You can make them move fast enough that you have to use strobe lights to see what's happening. You put like laser warning signals up first. Be like, please, while these things are busy, no coming inside of this area. I don't know. Apathetic, bloody planet. I have no sympathy at all. I'm guessing that's a line from a track. I feel like I'm trying to do too much. I'm trying to be at the top of the mountain and I'm still, closest to the base. Super great track today. I'm happy that you enjoyed them too, Shan. Like I spend a little bit of time kind of like picking them. I feel that it's a different type of accomplishment, 100%. I used to love digging up dandelion roots back when my body could handle all that kneeling. I'd roast the roots to make a coffee substitute and put the greens in my smoothies. I heard about that. I never knew of anyone who actually did it. It's so cool, Louisiana. Sending you lovin's for that as well. I mean, you got to do something like that when you did have the time to, and that's what's important. They sell Pedialyte at the gas station by us now. One of those, and I feel like I can go another couple of hours, no muscle cramps, and really hydrated. Pedialyte. I'm guessing some sort of electrolyte or rehydrate. I'm happy that you're finding something that actually works. Then that night I would lie in bed, close my eyes, and just see millions of dandelions. I love how that happens. Like the same thing happens to me at my, this point at least in my process. I don't know how I'm supposed to articulate this, but when I close my eyes, I see those psychedelic flowers pretty much imprinted in my brain. Like because I make them every day, it's like I keep putting in my brain, like picking dandelions, right? Picking these flowers, but only from a digital space, and then sharing them with a few friends. It's like I think of these screens as latent space, right? Meaning technically, and this is a little bit trippy, right? So bear with me. You have a certain number of pixels on the screen, right? You understand that? Those pixels can have different color values, right? Making the colors you're seeing right now. We understand that. Then on top of that, those pixels can have brightness values, right? From a 0 to 1,000, for example. And then depending on the brightness, it also mixes in a certain way to make the colors you're seeing right now. Okay? That as a set of information is finite, meaning within an infinite possibility loop, right? If you cycle through every single possible value on every single possible pixel, you can literally, frame by frame, if you held a camera in front of your face, capture your entire life. Or even have a frame by frame of your entire life of a camera that stares at you from the side, right? Can be captured on this screen. That's what latent space means. It's a little bit much. It's a little bit much. But to try and simplify it even more, these pixels can technically display anything, right? Including your entire life, frame by frame, if you knew the exact orientation or arrangement of pixels that you needed to show in order to show the frame by frame of your entire life. So that being said, I think and I believe that how we use these screens are of utmost importance, right? How you use them is either going to make you happier or not. And if you use them to see beautiful things, right, to expose yourself to programming that is actually going to be indicative of the person you want to be in the future, then you're using it well, right? If you're using it in a way that makes you feel worse about yourself or about the world, then I believe there is room for improvement, right? So yeah, thank you, friends, for having me on your screen. It's so freaking flattering. Like seriously, I I have a hard time believing it sometimes, right? I'm like, who are you, friends, who never say anything but still watch, piercing into my soul, while I have only limited access to yours. I see one of you smiling. He's quietly smiling. You found me. My name is Kelly Kessler. I sound like the Kesla with my hybrid accent. So Kes was how I signed up for the YouTubes and figured out I could change it. I'm happy you did. It's easier to see the name if I can actually read it. A heads up, please. Could have been nice, but I would have thought, though I would have protested. I know you would have, right? That's probably why they didn't tell you. And I think about that as well, Shad. I'm like, I didn't tell you on purpose, just so that they could get away with freaking cutting these trees down. I'm quickly gonna go get. We should give my light a name. Should we just call it Chris for my dad's name? It feels a little basic. Christen? Christen feels a little bit cooler, right? Because christen also means to gift. Hey Google. Hey Google. Define christen. I think I saw Kristen here as well. Did I see you? Shut up, data. Yeah, there she is. Hey, Kristen. Hey Google. Define what it means to christen someone. Am I tripping out? Surely that word exists, right? Yeah, no. No. Maybe one of you friends can correct me. Nay. I feel like I'm so lost right now. I should ease into the happiness of simply being. Yeah, that's nice. I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna get that light. I'll see you friends in a moment. Love is true. Love is true, love is true. Calm flows over me. With everything I do. Love is true. Love is. There's a 47 on the microwave. Nice. Here we go. Back. Crack myself up. If only I make myself a little bit happier with doing that, you know, it's enough. Make your friends uncomfortable, probably. There we go. Never tried that. The dandelion roots thing. I think I've read about it on Reddit or something. I had to have a tree topped next to my house this spring. I'm still trying to survive, but I cried when they did it. I have an idea of what you might feel. I'm not feeling for you, friend. Thank you, Joe, for echoing that love, sharing that connection. I just played Green Day. When I come around, she was like, "This beat rocks, Dad. I'm cutting onions, my punk rock princess." That's so beautiful. I cried too when trees I love get chopped down for no good reason. It really is just like, and you know what the worst part was? I think yesterday, talking about, you know, how we spend time, you know, how I think we finished the stream by talking about time is going to pass anyway, right? So wouldn't we want trees to be growing while time passes? right? And then that same day, practically, someone cuts down a tree next to one of our beloved friends. Like, I feel like that's such a weird way to really drive home the lesson, Shan. It's kind of like rude. It's like, damn, universe. Baskin Papa Pride, good job. Love, love, love Green Day. Basket Care is one of the favorite songs of all time, and it's easy to sing. So I feel like a rock star when it's in the car. So much love. Thanks, John. I'm devastated. I was so unexpected. How synchronous with the stream topic. The same day. I think about all the birds and other animals that had homes in these trees. Just for me, it's like a friendship thing, right? Like I really every single one of these trees I have a specific relationship with, right? And to have one of them cut down, like my heart broke when this tree fell over, right? I was like devastated. And then I noticed that it still wants to live, and I was like, thank goodness, right? And that's like just forces of nature. Never mind a person choosing to do that. I'm getting all riled up. That they trim the trees, cut them at the base, cut them like this tall. Absolute assholes. I'm getting so angry. Rabbit, I moved hundreds of perfectly healthy, lush tree branches yesterday, but I do it to increase the overall health of the tree down the road. Yin yang. Yeah, that's fine, right? But they cut the trees at the base, right? Like stumps, complete stump them. I think Shell is here. Blessings to you, friend. Zano too. Sending you lovin's. Just chop them down, Joy. They're still just laying on the ground. Cut them down and then left. That's like so rude. Yassi. That's like, insult to injury, right? Sick trees or blighted. Nope. They were completely fine. Amara said the landlord told them they were taken down for more sunlight. Yeah. Apparently during winter it blocks sunlight. It's also gonna make things hotter during the summer, but yeah. I don't know. Apathetic body planet. Simply of all. Damn, that sucks. I made a birdhouse of some of the leftover tree. That's nice. Repurposing it, giving it new life. Sharing a little home. That's beautiful. Thank you, Joe, for honoring your tree that way. The rest of what they chopped down, I had turned to mulch and put in the gardens. So the tree's still there, providing nutrients to the land, and the little microorganisms and fungi will grow there eventually. Yeah, I hope so as well. Like they were just such beautiful trees, big trees, like they looked like they were like 30, maybe even 40-year-old trees, and just got wrecked in a day, right? Like I think that's the thing that like really disturbs me as well, is like this tree has been putting in effort, energy, day after day after day. And then one day a human decides, fuck this tree, dead. Like in an hour, minutes, dead. And that's devastating, right? Like that shocks my heart. How can people do that? Because it makes them happy. They think it's going to make them happy, rather, I should say, right? People do things because they think it will make them happy. Nothing makes you happy. Unfortunately, things can make you happier, right? I think there's the joke of today's stream. Things can make you happier. Nothing can make you happy, right? That is like a certain level of self-measurement. Like we do have a hedonic set point, right? So how happy you are is almost like preset sometimes. You can move it a bit, but it's pretty much set. Like there's techniques to actually help yourself with that, but we won't get into that. And adding more to that experience only lifts that hedonic set point. So now if you don't have that more this, more power, more control, now you feel shit. Now you feel less happy than you would have if you were just kind of content with the way that things are sometimes. Inducing anger, trying to solve your anger by hurting others. Man, I'm still kind of emotional. Wanted more light. That'd be really expensive to get trees cut down. Not just that, but like more light. The earth is warming up. Like more light isn't what you're going to need technically. That's going to be the least of your problems. Having more trees, especially since it was like a trees that were kind of like closer to the home, so you could like kind of like sit in the shade, look out on the expanse. They were such, like in my mind, extra useful trees as well. They would offer, functional shade, during the day. Own ideas of what fun is, yeah. Joy, it's not expensive to take trees down if it's not near anything requiring climbing. If it's simple bucket, truck, and cheap chop, my trees in my backyard, not cheap. Yeah. I feel that was pretty much a cheap job, like dude needed a chainsaw essentially, and that's pretty much it. They didn't even chop them down and like take them, which is like the more labor intensive part of the job. They just cut them down and left them there. Like almost like, leaving the evidence of the crime or something. Climbing huge trees with chainsaws. Yeah, no. I can't imagine that being fun. Woo woo. He's a plant alchemist. I found out about properties of dandelions from him. So cool. Absolutely not. Scummy tree service near me that charges a premium and then charges you for the removal of the debris, then chips and bags, and then mulch to sell locally. They hit you three ways. And it'll probably, only after you're already in for it, right? Like these people have already cut the tree down and now they're telling you, yeah, it's going to cost you extra for us to remove it, Oh, what are you going to do, loser? Are you capable of removing this massive, mass, from your home? No? Yeah, pay us. Oh, give us monies. Daylight robbing. Put on Craigslist, sell them trees. When your landlord asks where you went, play dumb. Unexpected. Behind the comments. Solution is to sell to a craftsman and pocket the money. That could work. Why you so out of it, Melt? You okay? So you want to know? Technically, I did something I never have done before. I thought it would help. I couldn't sleep properly last night, So I decided, I'm gonna take like half a gram of mushrooms and then kind of like ease into it. So I don't know if I actually slept. Not real sleep, right? But I woke up with a resolving, I need to talk about today's stream topic. I was in this like last moments of my dream space, and I found myself kind of like with a large group of people, and I was talking to my immediate team about trying to. They were like coming to me with the problem of these people aren't happy, and I was like, y'all, not everybody is gonna be happy, but we can make them happier, right? And then I woke up and I was like, yeah, everybody won't always be happy, but we can make people happier. And then we came into stream, like there was still a bunch of other stuff that happened, but I feel pretty out of it. I feel like like because I woke up again, and I mentioned this, like I woke up like in what felt like a wavelength. Usually you kind of like occupy a certain state of being, and reality feels a certain way, right? And today, reality felt different. Felt like instead of things having their fixed positions, they would like move when I'm not looking at them. Right? They would go, and I'd be like, hey, right? Because technically, and this is a little bit on the woo-woo side. Technically, the world you see outside doesn't exist outside, right? Your brain is basically your matrix, or your brain is basically in a matrix situation where it's in a vat. Your skull is the vat within which your brain is, laying, connected to a bunch of wires, right? That connects to your extremities, connects to your eyes and your ears. And then there's signals, low bandwidth, technically signals, right? That comes in, connects to your brain, and then that signal gets basically turned into your experience. And yeah, whatever I did, kind of like melting into that space, it changed the way my brain processes at least some of the information. so I'm getting used to it, I guess. It's making me a little bit wonky. I feel like it's mostly being tired, if anything. But I'll be fine. Tomorrow is another day. I'll get to sleep again. Fortunately, Root Funk Festival. Said it sound. Great minds think alike. Love is being shared. The solution is to sell the craft, man. There we go. Meet a lot of big plant wisdom folks and take seminars from them while we camp in the woods for 5 days. That sounds so nice. Making other people happier comes easy. I find it much more challenging to lift myself off the ground, even an inch sometimes, despite having the entire damn toolbox at my disposal. Small wins, right? Like, I feel like that's the best way to happiness. Because I feel that sense of unhappiness can kind of arise from a loss, right? However you define a loss, even if it's a conceptual loss. And giving yourself small wins, helps to kind of like reverse that trend a little bit. Hey, Loy, it's nice seeing you, friend. Sending you good vibes. Kelly, I can relate. Yeah, I'm coming out of similar few days. I'm happy to hear you're coming out of it at least, right? It is an up and a down and a left and a right and a forward and a backwards. It really is a wonky experience. Just stay present for it. One breath at a time. My therapist pushes making others happy as a form of making me happy. Acts of service is one of my love languages. Amazing what happens when you follow the therapist's advice. Yeah, human connection. It's almost like we're wired for it. Thank you, Kelly, for sharing that advice with us as well. I think it's a very good one. Again, make others happy if you're lacking happiness. Rabbit, I know he's living in Mexico now. Before that, he was somewhere in England. David Farrell. I don't know who that is, unfortunately. Kelly, being a tree, rig fur, and climbing is dangerous. But if you get on the road crew, you are in high demand. Mobile. Hold my beer. We need more sunlight. Yeah, exactly. Like a split decision, Like, yeah, this is what's gonna happen now. I've made this decision for everybody. Music making me happy. Happy to hear that. Kelly, doing some nice for someone could help elevate the mood. I just texted an abort arbos arborist arborist. I don't know what that word means. Hey Google, what is an arborist? Tree surgeon, someone who does the tree cutting. Why don't you just call them a tree cutter man? Arborist. I didn't even know that word exists. How about that? The more you know. Cultivation management or study of individual trees. How about that? Asked how much he would charge to teach me, Kelly. You made it happen. There we go. I mean, that's manifestation for you. I love that so much. Manifest. Nature has a way of taking care of those ballsy people, Shan. Just sit back and keep your milk duds handy. Change will do good. Uh, Saying Lovins. I'm happy that you're saying those words as well, Joy, because I was thinking that about Shan as well. Like even though seeing this tree cut down isn't what she wanted, none of us would have wanted that. It is still going to be now a new experience for her to have that she might not have had before, right? Like the whole time she's lived there, this tree was in her field of vision, and it was beautiful that way, right? It was the way it was meant to be in that moment. And now since it's cut off, now there's going to be a whole new experience of the field of vision being a little bit wider. And again, that experience in my mind doesn't actually exist out there, but is created internally, right? So again, from that perspective, at the moment, from this current moment, with this new almost like state of being, right? And it's hard to adjust to it. We can be a little bit confused about how we're supposed to feel, and we can feel badly about it even. That's fine as well. But then as we accept and as we move past, our resentment potentially, we can actually experience now this open state of mind, right? Like seeing it as like almost an expanse of mind, and kind of like leaning into it from that perspective. I hope you're resonating with that, dear Shan. This week, Aunt Flo was visiting. Thanks, full moon. So naturally, I shredded my husband before he left for work, ate all the things, then bowled at the beautiful sunset. It's been a ride. Sending you blessings, Kelly. I'm so sorry to hear you've been on that ride. I hope you feel better soon. Seems fun, Kel. I can't force happiness. It's like building the Tower of Lies. It will fall if you keep using the same shitty bricks. What makes you happy, right? I'm not suggesting we force happiness. I'm suggesting we find in ourselves truly what makes us happy and then trying to practice more of that. Or, a beautiful way to say it again, and I like this one as well. When you're talking to other people, what makes you happiest to talk about? Right? Find what that is and practice more of that. You'll see yourself grow. I do not miss her. She was a cruel auntie, getting gut punched once a month. That does sound like straight suck. I just laughed so hard. I made my doggo jump out of bed. Life is never boring with me, darling. So much love. Being bipolar means learning to be okay with being uncomfortable every second of your life. I accept your experience, and I validate that that's probably the way that it is for a lot of it. But you know me, Susanna. I have to say something. Don't say things you don't want to believe, right? I get it. I get it. You are bipolar. You are uncomfortable. But every second of your life, even when you're showering, even when you're, in new pajamas, laying in the blankets, even when you're, giving a puppy some pets, you kitty, right? Surely there's like a moment that is not every moment, right? And if that a moment is possible, a happier moment is possible, surely there is more possibility for that happier. And then saying, I can be bipolar, meaning I spend a lot of my time uncomfortable, but I look forward to the moments that aren't. I look forward to these moments, for instance, where we can actually share this moment with one another. I don't want to imagine you uncomfortable for the rest of your life. I don't know if you want to imagine that either, right? Like there is so much more. And I do believe that love is true ultimately, right? Otherwise, if and again, right, love can be the ability to endure the most uncomfortable, for example, right? And then again, finding what makes it endurable. Like, what is it that actually gives you that endurance? What is it you love enough that you want to continue living? And then doing more of that. Giving yourself that moment of reverse uncomfortable, right? Actually, just loving what you're doing. Zan, I feel that hard. I feel everything hard. And I have the other bipolar disorder. It's uphill battle but a necessary one. Sending you love and strength. I'm happy to hear that you're fighting the battle nonetheless, Kelly. Zana, you said it. I was diagnosed with bipolar type 2 many years ago, then undiagnosed many years later. It's actually a combination of wicked ADHD, autism spectrum, and dyspraxia. Hey, Google, what's dyspraxia? Also known as a developmental coordination disorder. It's a common disorder that affects movement and coordination, does not affect your intelligence, it affects your coordination skills. I'm imagining yoga could help with that. Has it helped? Maybe I should just ask you, Louisiana, do you feel the yoga has helped with your dyspraxia? Happiness is a state of being we inhibit, like love or anger or sadness. These states of being are like rooms in a house we have to declutter and maintain. That home is our brain. We encourage to decorate the walls with beneficial thoughts. I'm thinking of Inside Out now. It's so beautiful. That's exactly it. right? Inside out means what you're experiencing isn't outside coming into you. It is the inside being projected outward. Right? The world you see is but a reflection of yourself ultimately. When you change the way you see the world you see changes. All right, try it. Try it, you know. Try it for 5 years, try it for 10 years, try it for 20 years. If your world doesn't change, hit me up, you know. I'll reimburse you for your efforts. Tree cutter man, Melty. Some of them are women's tree cutter persons. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to misogynistics. On day 96 means a new word. Weapons. I just googled Catherine May, and her work looks right up my alley. Thanks. Thank you for sharing. It's definitely a new experience for my fur babies too. He wanted more sun, and golly, there sure is more sunlight. There we go. Maybe that's a change. It's definitely a change, and we can learn to fall in love with the change. We were talking about that like a week ago as well. The unexpected, loving the unexpected, because that is so unexpected, huh, Shan? That's so unexpected. You come outside, boom, tree's dead. Like that level of just so unexpected, and then loving that. How can I ask that even? So it feels almost like insensitive to ask us to love that experience because I'm having a hard time, and it's not even my tree that got chopped down. It was diagnosed at 37, such a great perspective, and shares such a beautiful manner. This is the way. Mm. I love getting new PJ soft ones. Yeah, there we go. Arborists also treat trees with issues. Yeah, they do like treating trees. They do nurseries. Pretty much anything tree involved. They're the people you call. You're welcome, Melt. I accept your experience and honor it. It's probably one of the most beautiful, loving sentences I've heard in a long time. Like I never want you friends to feel like I don't believe you, right? When you say you're suffering, that's never the intention of what I say in return. But I do believe because I've noticed that in myself, right? It's like a path up a mountain, right? And then noticing a certain patch of rough rocks, right? And for me, the patch of rough rocks is negative self-talk, right? Where you label yourself or you limit yourself with a certain set of beliefs, right? Like, I am this little box, and because I am this little box dictates my entire experience, right? And I believe that. I was depressed as well, right? I was in that loop of I want to kill myself. I want to kill myself. If I killed myself, nobody would even notice, right? If I killed myself, maybe then people will notice. If I killed myself, people are probably going to notice for like a week, and the very next day, technically, they're just going to continue with their lives like nothing ever happened, right? And that was like a self-fulfilling prophecy where it got darker and darker and darker the deeper I dig myself into that little box, and then a bunch of things had to happen for me to kind of lift my head up and see that there is an infinity above this box that I'm digging. Hello, Eva. Yeah, Pepe sat on me. Love is true. Love is true. What do you call arborists? Everything boomsnayer. Tree cutter. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think we have a word for it in Afrikaans. Is this the lead up to a dirty joke? The mental thing that manifests so physically discomfort that is constant. Even petting puppies, my brain moves much faster than most, and it's uncontrollable. The discomfort comes from either meds or the brain body. I don't know your experience, and I acknowledge that as well. I hope for a change though, right? Even if there is no change, right? You just communicate in that way might be change enough. Might be a 1% win. Again, it might not make you happy, but there might be like a 1% happiness add. That could actually make a difference. Helping with my balance and spatial awareness. Really incremental progress, but I can feel it. That's the way it should be, right? It's not a now I'm happy suddenly. It is like I'm gonna practice yoga for the next 5 years. 5 years of my life every day if you want to. You can if you want to, right? And then noticing after that 5 years how your life is now different because you actually put in the effort. And we're all capable of that, right? Like that is one of the ways that we can make happier ourselves, like nobody else has to do that for us. Nobody else can. Shan, I'm devastated with you. Permits are required here just for that reason. I've had the experience with just one tree and I cried for days. I'm sorry that happened. It's okay. Thank you, Shell, for echoing that love as well. So, in vulnerability, when I say the other BPD, I mean borderline personality disorder. Okay. But hate saying it out loud because the word hates a borderline without any understanding. The world hates a borderline without any understanding. You won't be hated here, Kelly. All right. Like as long as you remain aware and try to, from that awareness, show up lovingly. I believe we're doing as much as we can, and we'll try to encourage one another to do the same. I didn't see your comment, Zano and Kaz message before sending mine. I'm sorry if my comment seems like I'm not seeing your situation. Did you delete your comment? There we. No, I don't know if you did. I really do resonate, right, with what you said though. The decorating the room that is your brain with beautiful thoughts, with beneficial thoughts about yourself and about your experience, right? Like that has been the single most biggest game changer in my personal experience, right? Like the single most biggest game changer. And I had to kind of go outside in at first, right? I had to start exercising and I started smoking weed and I started getting into, the other sides of spiritual philosophy and I got into meditation and, like it was this cumulative process of trying to get myself closer to what happier is supposed to be. Not happy, but happier, pushing slowly but surely. And like it's been a process and I'm still on that journey. It's been literally 7 years since 8 years since my suicide attempt, right? And then a year and a half after that, I started to actually change my behavior, and I'm still on that journey, right? Like I don't think I'm ever not going to be on that journey. I feel like that's what we're here for. And as soon as we kind of accept the permanence of this journey, I feel that is when it gets easier, right? Because now it's not something that you're necessarily fighting, but it's something that you're living with, right? You realize that you can live with it, you can endure it because of the amount of love that you're capable of. And then you practice and you get stronger and you get better at it and you grow more still. The practice, walnut essence, there we go. The best friend adapt to change. This is the way. My family didn't understand. It means so much to me that you friends get it. We do. We love you, Shan. I'm so sorry again. The practice is normalizing, not being okay. Not being okay makes things easier. Changing the narrative on how people should feel, like normalizing overstimulation, letting people take breaks without assuming something is wrong. I hear you, Zano. I try to think about life very analytically, right? And analytically can feel a little bit insensitive, right, from an external perspective. But again, I think that way because I'm trying to reduce suffering, right? And I think of it sometimes from a problem solving perspective when it's not my problem, one, and secondly, it's not my problem to solve, two. And in trying to, I can end up hurting the person as well. Hey, John, it's nice having you. Like, I'm thinking about this analogy about a woman and a man who are having a hard time, maintaining their relationship. And they talk to this therapist, and the woman has like a picture of like a nail in her shoulder, right? And she's like telling the therapist, like, I keep telling him about the nail, and he keeps trying to take it out of me. And how that creates like a whole painful situation. We as masculine entities want to see less suffering, right? Pain, seeing the feminine suffer is, I believe, one of the most painful experiences to me, right? And I see the feminine suffer when I see trees being cut down, right? To my mind, that registers as the divine feminine being hurt. So, like, that hurts me, right? And it's the same thing hearing any friend, because again, I believe all bodies are feminine expressions. Like, that's like seeing the feminine in pain, right? And then all I want to do is, I've seen the nail video, so you know what I'm talking about. I think it might be on her forehead or something in the video, but the shoulder sounds a little bit less. Yikes. Calling it borderline makes the individuals with borderline feel shitty about themselves who want to be borderline. I couldn't say myself. The diagnostic critters is so outdated too. We are still working with the original research from the early 90s. I don't know that about the naming of the beast being on the edge of two conditions. Most of that went over my head. Hey, John, again. Lovins to you, dude. It's nice having you. Sending you so much lovins. I love your brain, Zano. It makes such wondrous art that selfishly brings so much joy. Exactly, right? And if Zano wasn't the exact way that she was, her art wouldn't be as beautiful as it is. Right? So where do we draw lines? Where do we say that something should be and other things shouldn't? I certainly don't. Sadly, my partner has managed to weaponize it and uses it to invalidate anything and everything I feel or do that doesn't work for him. Yeah, that is unfortunate, Kelly. Not being acknowledged for the things you feel. Meditation and the science behind the brain during meditation has been the best help for me. It really is good, right? Kind of like trying to quiet the external input, and the potential suffering that comes along with it. Realizing that you can detach in large part from that attachment, that experience that is fed into the experience that is fed into the experience. I play hopscotch with the borderline of insanity. It's what makes life exciting and new every single day. I feel pretty resonant with that, Joe Schmo. It's nice having you here as well. The more I learn about myself, the more I realize I'm living with a narcissist, which my mother pointed out 20 years ago. But did I listen to mama? Now I'm stuck in the sunk cost fallacy. I'm happy that you actually know that word at least, Kelly. Yeah, sunk cost fallacy is a real one for us human beings. You're like, what is the sunk cost fallacy? One person says. The sunk cost fallacy is when you have sunk so much capital or energy or time into a certain vector, relationship, a business partner, investment, etc., etc. And instead of taking your cash out, taking your time out because you realize this is now a losing game you're playing, you double down or you stay there because you're like, oh, I've spent all of this time, all of this energy already. I guess I'll just continue doing that. Right? Which is it's a little bit counterintuitive. And yet, we do it all the time. So much sunk cost fallacying from us human beings. Mel, sometimes you say things that give me so much hope for the future. Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you, Nancy, for saying words like that. If I can only do that for one person a day, that's 1% happier, right? A little bit of hope. Just like a sprinkle of hope for what the future could be for all of us, for our future kids. Took me time to believe that it's okay to hide in the bathroom from overstimulation. Take care of you when you've got to take care of you. Absolutely. Thank you for echoing that show. Why still partner? Good question. My new mantra, friend. Love is true. I'm not going to encourage you to tear apart your life, but I'm going to watch you lean into everything true, Kelly. This is the way. Show up for what you believe is worthy. Love is true, Ryan. So you should make sure. Kelly, I feel you, friend. The world can be overwhelming with decisions and expectations. Hang in there, kiddo. Sunk cost fallacy and fear. And that when I'm in a place where I'm strong enough to leave, enter the love bombing. Just remember to relax. This is the way. It's a cycle, Kel. So much love. Being aware as you are in such a good place to be. I'm happy that you're seeing that as well. Agreed, Sean. Actually, just noticing, right? It's okay to be in whatever state of being you find yourself in right now, but practice awareness. Be like, where am I right now? Why am I here right now? Do I want to continue being here indefinitely? If I don't want to continue being here indefinitely, what steps can I take to make sure that I can leave, right? And then being okay with it taking some time sometimes, right? Being okay with it taking months, years even, to actually change things. But knowing that it's possible and that if you take the years, you'll see change, right? That it's not a lost game. I see contentment rather I seek contentment rather than seeking happiness. Beautifully said. I often find myself able to better receive happiness when I live with contentment. Same. I mean, I may hurt, but it sounds very healthy that you're aware of the situation, even if you aren't ready for change. Jamas, didn't see you come in. Seek balance and smile when you can. I love you, friends, and wish peacefulness for all of you. Thank you for the peacefulness, dear Shaw. I feel better. I'm so happy to hear that. A little bit happier. 1% happier. I just got deja vu as well. This card is staring into me. Is it staring into you? Is it staring into us? Stop, Oz. What are you doing? Like it took me some time to hit all of you friends, and then when it hit all of you friends, I could feel the psychic way of like, fuck you, let's fuck there is orange flowers. Orange flower up top there. These are like reddish oranges as well. It's a sick card. I'm learning and building strength, but I've made so many rash decisions in this life. And I feel I need to be stable moving into the next step. This is the way. Take it slow. Take it very slow. One moment at a time. One breath. Don't jump to conclusions, right? What's that? Slow is fast and fast is slow, right? Like if you do it one moment at a time, you'll see things happen faster than if you try to rush it. Makes me happy. Butterflies, cats, doggos, scrapbooking, video games, bubbles, puzzles, junk food, sleeping, picnicking, bonfires of s'mores, the moon, Sailor Moon. I feel better. Yeah, echoing those things, right? Because that's also true. That those words you said are just as true as you saying you feel uncomfortable all the time, right? And that's the thing. That's the point I'm trying to make. Saying one or the other makes you feel one way or another, right? And some experiences allow for more happiness and some zap us of our happiness. And the more negative we spot about ourselves, the more we're like, yeah, fuck, I do suck, actually. Right? And I do that sometimes. I get it. Kelly, Mr. Shell is a bit because he raised to on my journey, we have some new conflict, but I'm also going through growth. Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I'm sorry. I appreciate your vulnerability so many times. Wanted to reach out and personally open your door. I find my words. You'll hear from me. Kelly, thank you. Do reach out. Look into the green Taurus field. Literally the green Taurus. surrounded by flowers. Good. I'm happy to hear that. Share the synchronicities. Okay, let's read what it means. I did pull it upside down at first, so the reverse meaning can go, how can you ask for the trust of others if you cannot trust yourself? A good point. How can you ask for the trust of others if you do not believe in yourself? Acceptance and trust. How about that again, Shan? Acceptance for the fallen trees. Hot damn. Picnic in Toronto. Yay, happy list. Yeah, make a happy list. Make a happy list. Do yourself a favor. Make your happy list, and then try to hit one of your happy lists. Just one. Just find like one of your happy list things and then make sure you get that every day. All right? Just like 1% extra happy. Getting you closer and closer to happiness. Also, passed it into the digital post note. Good. What an incredible resource we have in each other. I'm feeling very fortunate. It's a blessing, Kelly. You are, dear friend. I just thought of a fun idea. If each of us make a list to share of our individual things that make us happy, then we can borrow the list and try it for ourselves. Yes, that's a great idea. Maybe we can do it into the introduce yourself channel, on Discord or something. I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. No, I noticed that, Joy. Why don't you trust me? Because I do stuff like this? You're being a little weird? It's like, yeah, that's fucking weird, dude. How can I trust this? Shows me a video of myself. I'm like, oh goodness, is that what I look like? Okay. Rob. Lovins. Okay. Acceptance and trust. This green Taurus, snuggled comfortably within a nest of flowers, is both dynamic and passive. Its revolving magnetic spirit invites you to move into the green, shadowy center and trust where you may be led. It is the nature of the Taurus to move energy, and the energy moving here is that of acceptance and trust. Calmly allow your attention to follow the swirling arms towards the mysterious center. Recognize that you are moving through a passageway that may offer insights into the matter of your inquiry. Agree to be open to the messages you may receive and trust that you are guided from within and beyond. There it is. There it is with, Jovan's comment as well, talking about the inside out, that you are guided from within and beyond, right? But it starts here, so that you can be guided from beyond. And not beyond necessarily just this world, but also the psychic layers, right? Use this energy of potential as a means of accessing your most pure personal truth, your most pure personal truth, your happy list, right? Accept that this could be challenging, since many of us do not trust ourselves enough to recognize authentic truth when we are in its presence. Try to stay in this energy until you feel self-acceptance and sense a message that you can trust. Sit with this knowing and have faith in what you find at your core. Gently follow the arms of the Taurus back into your reality, knowing you may better trust and accept yourself. As you learn to trust and accept yourself, you will find it easier to be tolerant and trusting of others. Yeah, that's one way to get a little bit more happiness, right? Actually trusting yourself, to feel like you have that. A certain level of comfort, if you will. Are we doing the sound of music in here now? Maybe we could. Hot and hazy, 100% humidity today. 100%. That is pretty absurd. If hippies don't believe in money, can they have nefarious ulterior motives? Sure, they can. I can believe so, at least. The whole environment seems to have taken a break today. Even the birds are quiet. Certain level of coming back. Narcissist, in case you missed it. Yeah, that would have helped. Thank you for clarifying, Show. I appreciate that. Jaju, I'm feeling that my home is chirpless too this morning. My Burby babies made their way to the flight enclosure at the center now. They're independent and no longer cry for me for food. So instead of intermittent crying, happy tears, of course, for their successful growth. Thank you for guiding them as far as you have. Dear Joe, like I'm sending you lovin's. I hope it's not too alone. I hope that Zoe Burb gets, a little bit more attention now at least. Spiritual study hall, Joe. Where have you been? I missed you. Glad our paths crossed today. Love is true. Anyone been checking out the moon? Yeah, yeah. I've been watching it almost like rise the last 2 days. It's been beautiful. Yesterday's was so beautiful as well. I'm so full. Neanderthal or something. Yeah, I didn't know what it was supposed to stand for, so I just skipped over it completely. I would rather not create any more dissonance. You're a gem, my friend. She really is. Yo, the moon means. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm happy that Joy is also echoing. I'm like, I was so confused. I was like, the fuck is that supposed to be? Actually, I still have Kalimba. I see Shan sending her message already, but I'm gonna wait before I read it. Wanna share some more vibes. We'll do like 2 minutes today, not like a full 4 minutes, but still. All right, let's go for it. Skidoosh. What an experience. Krupak to you too. Have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I for seriously love you all so, so very superest, duperest, extremely, whoppingly, considerably, cosmically, colossally, vastly, dearly, melting all of you absolutely, wonderfully, amazingly, unbelievingly, stunningly, fantastically, spectacularly, gorgeously, magical friends. As we love you, dearest Shan. Thank you for echoing so much love into our world as well. That too got trained to stop slapping my butt. Yeah, good. There, there are. I didn't think it worked that way. If evilness existed in the same space as the hippie is no longer a hippie, but is a corpo. The thing for me is just like other needs, right? Like even if the money goes away, the needs won't, right? And needs is technically what can induce evil behavior sometimes, right? So like you'll still be a slave to your own body's needs, for the rest of your life. You're gonna have to work to make it happy, right? That's why it's so loud sometimes. It is a process though. Sure, wasn't work Lambo today. Nah, still did it. I'm happy. Corpo hippie, absolutely cursed. Gwyneth Paltrow, there we go, is maybe one that comes to mind. That is 100% a corpo hippie. You're so right. Glad we're here for this as well. That was true. I had extra time on my hands yesterday evening, so I taught Zoe to turn 180 degrees on command. Smart boy. He already knew 360 spin, so he had a head start. So much love it. Thank you for sharing that with us as well. Zoe Burb, still learning new tricks. And everyone, so much love to the beautiful space that we have helped to create and maintain and inspire. I'm excited. I'm eternally grateful for the growth that I have been able to witness in everyone. Love you, Brother Joe Schmo. Thank you for growing alongside us. So true, Sam. I named one of her children Apple. This space is sacred. We make it so, right? Our love shines so bright that no bad vibes, can survive. They just get melted. Thank you, everyone, for helping me come out of this yucky brain space I've been in. Y'all meant so much to me. Love you, Lovazana. I'm so happy to hear you're feeling better, dear friend. Oh, work a doodle time. Enjoy the rest of your day slash evening on. Love to you, Nancy. Blessings to you too. Kalimba was lovely. Love you, brother. Love you. Make the money, Nan. There we go. Jaju and Loazana and Shan and Zano and Kelly and Joy and Shan. Double Shan Lovins. And Shell and Nancy and Toons and Duck and John and Melt and more. You friends are sacred. Love you too. Dear Xiao. Beautiful Kalimba. So much lovins. You can teach an old burb new tricks. You can! Dude, last night I had a very in-depth conversation with someone about what their happy place is. To actually visualize it and everything that's there and everyone that's there. Isn't it trippy, right? Like that is, if you can, the way I articulate that is like if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands, right? Like it is possible. It might take some time, but that should be inspiration, right? Some inspiration. Remember to eat shoni fruit. Love is true, and I thank you. I'm gonna eat a banana, and it's kind of mad, but it's full of love. I mean, if you bite, and you like reflect that inside smooth bit inside of it, that's technically a little bit shiny. Shiny. There we go. Love is true. Thank you, friends, for joining me, for sharing these moments. I'll see you again real soon. Goodbye, everybody. Blessings to you.